You are now entering the Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. We in the building. High priestess in the building, didn't let my fears kill me. Transmuted my pain in that cleanse in the rain. Found out I was working and I conquered my demons. I accepted my purpose and the goddess I became. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm super late. um, you know what? I woke up this morning at like 7 something, and I was like, if only I lay in this bed just a little longer, how more awesome will that be? Good morning, you guys. It's Monday. I know today is a holiday for a lot of people. I don't fucking celebrate this shit, but it is a holiday for a lot of people. So happy whatever the fuck day is. What is today? President's Day. I think it's President's Day. Oh, Erica, why didn't you sleep, boo? Um, so remember, this is your Thick Goddess Energy Morning Show. I am your host, Ariana, aka Divine Moon Goddess. And this is brought to you by Divine Moon Goddess Healers and Readings.com, where all of your questions get answered. And for the month of February, you can get a discount. You can get 25% off all my services if you use code knowledge 444 at checkout. So that's going to be expiring at the end of this month, though. I don't know what next month's deal will be. I don't know. Who fucking knows? Right? Good morning, Sasha. Oh, flying. Okay. Well, you're traveling. That's why you didn't get no sleep. I can't really sleep when I'm traveling either. I'm like a crackhead. Good morning, Holly. Good morning, Shelly. Good morning, Evelyn. Your package is going to be delivered today. Oh, shit. That's exciting. It's always exciting to get a package from Divine Moon Goddess, right? If you guys missed my crystal live sale yesterday, go back and watch it. Stop slacking. You have until tomorrow to put in your orders. Um, the sale will be good until tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a sale on Thursday or Wednesday. I'm going to be doing like 2 sales a week right now, so just know you have time to put in your orders basically. You're in Maine for the week. Okay, vacay. Good morning, Betty. Good morning, Crystal. There's nothing wrong with a vacation. I apparently am looking very pale because I have not been in the sun in so long. So once this weather warms up, your girl is going to the beach or at least poolside. Because I look really pale right now. And I was like, what? It looks like I've been hibernating for the fucking winter. Um, so what do I have for you guys today? Gonna say, hopefully you're starting off this week. Bronzer, there you go. I gotta get bronzer. I can't be all pale. I gotta get bronzer with my energy. So my whole glow. I need my glow. That bronze summer glow. And we do live in Florida. Well, I live in Florida anyway, so it's very easy. But February is normally our coldest month, so ain't no sitting by the pool in February. It's actually pretty fucking cold. Oh shit, April. Okay, okay. I'm sure a lot of people will be traveling for April, spring breakers at the end of March to April. Um, you guys know the classes that I offer are under the shop now. They are pretty cheap. Some of them are at least 50% off right now. I don't have any live classes yet. You guys, I've been teaching tarot for 2 years. I've been teaching mediumship for almost 2 years. Um, Shadow work is a pretty new one, but that I've been doing since last year. And the other classes we have astrology, chakra, that are taught by Oracle Empress and my daughter, Abraciana. Abraciana, she's the one, you guys always hear her in the background. She's the one who actually taught me chakras. She put me onto chakras, which was a game changer for me. I think we'll do a morning show. We'll talk about chakras and energy points. and why I got more into energy versus the witchy shit, or the fluffy spiritual bullshit. For me, energy speaks volumes, and it just doesn't lie. So that's what always kind of connected me with chakras and energy. It's just always been there. I've always connected that way, so it just made sense to me. Thank you for the share, boo. I gotta sip my coffee too. I'm telling you, I call it fluffy spiritual bullshit out there. Um, they sell us a bunch of bullshit. And the only reason why I am where I'm at is because I question shit. Questioning shit is huge. Because if you just believe everything that you fucking hear, then you're a part of the sheep. I don't care if you're in spirituality or not. If you believe everything that comes at you, then you're just another sheep. So you got to kind of pick and decipher what is true and what's not true. I question shit. When someone says something, I'm like, okay. Even when someone's giving me advice, I say okay politely, and I'm not saying in a shitty way, but at the end of the day, it's this is my life and my world. So if something doesn't speak to me, like my gut ain't screaming, my heart ain't screaming, I kind of let it go, and I just say thank you for the advice. I think that we have to do more questioning, and we have to do our own research. People will tell me some shit and I will go search it up myself. I don't just take what you told me as, the end all. I take what you tell me and I go research it, and I get like a couple different places that's saying the same shit. And then if it makes sense to me, then I'm like, can I apply this to my life? Do I want to apply this to my life? And I think that unfortunately, the mainstream spirituality bullshit is a bunch of fluff. It's a bunch of let's live in this 5D universe that's not here, and let's forget that we actually have a 3D life, a physical life that we're living. And you can't just skip out of the 3D reality. You have to work to get out of the 3D reality. A lot of people don't like that. They're like, it doesn't, what if it's not, you don't have to do this, or it's not work, and it is work. Especially if you come from the hood, it's fucking work. Okay. Let me let you know. You come from a place of lack. You not just jumping over to spirituality like kumbaya. It's not fucking happening. You know how hard it can be. If you were starving and you've ever starved in your life, then someone coming to tell you all you got to do is think it and it will be sounds like fucking trash. And I'm not saying they're wrong, because I've had to change my mindset. I've had to change my mindset so much. Positive thinking is key, but positive thinking is not going to change your life. Not wholly. There's systems to this shit, right? You have to do a lot of shit together. You can't just wake up tomorrow, my positive thoughts fed me. No, I still got to go to work. So I think a lot of these spiritualists go to the very fluffy, even when I watch astrology, because I'm very into astrology. You guys know I talk about the planets, where the planets are at, how it's hitting us as a collective. If you want to learn more from me as far as astrology goes, get in my moon club. That's where I really go in about where the energy is set and how it's looking. But the biggest thing about it is that you have most of these astrologers that do the same shit. They give you fluff astrology for the year. I watched this one guy. His name is called the Leo King. He's the realest motherfucker I have ever seen far as astrology. And it's because he gives no shits. He tells you the dark shit too. And that's the balance of life. Life has good and bad. Life is not all good. It's not all bad. And so I think we have to question stuff. Oh no, you didn't offend me, Evelyn. I needed to change that anyway. I forgot about I haven't been in the tribe very much. I've been super busy, so I actually forgot to change the prices after December 31st, because those prices changed. So I needed to do that. So you actually helped me do that. I think take what someone tells you with a grain of salt, and really check into your heart space and your gut. Remember that we, especially myself, as gifted as I am, I'm only seeing partial. I'm only feeling partial of what's going on in your life. I'm not seeing the whole thing. I'm not in your complete energy. Spirit's only giving me a very small piece of it. So no matter how gifted someone is on the other side, check in to see if it's resonating with you. When you're watching people, are they inspire you or are they making you depressed? Because I don't want no one to watch me and be depressed as fuck afterwards. Like if you're depressed as fuck afterwards, we got to change that. I never wanted my channel to be like that. Especially if you're watching on YouTube. Hey, Divergent, good morning. Never wanted my channel to be like that, where people are depressed as fuck, confused as fuck after a reading. And I know sometimes we're still, especially the collective readings. If you watch the collective readings, it's easy to get confused because it's so many people that I'm reading for in a collective. That's why you should get your own personal reading. You get your own personal reading, then you don't got to be confused because what's coming out is for you. Still, at the same time, take it with a grain of salt. It's your life. You're the one who is going to be affected whether you make moves or not. So I think we got to question more. I ain't into the spiritual fluffiness. I say that because I've watched a lot of shit in this past 3 years. In this past 3 years, I've seen a lot of shit that's just made me look like, even with ritual work. And I still love rituals. You guys, I still love rituals. I still light my candles, I still work with the moon. Um, but I just don't see it the same way. I just don't see it the same way as when I came into this shit. Exactly. Take what you can, throw the rest away because again, it's your life at the end of the day. And I don't think anybody should be telling you what you need to do. I feel like when someone is speaking, what you need to do will speak to you. Does that make sense? So I don't think I ever need to tell you what you should be doing, although I say a lot of shit. I think it'll hit you like, damn, I needed to hear this message. Damn, I've been thinking about this. It's already something you've been thinking about. It's not someone who's telling you, like, quit your job tomorrow and go work for this other place. And you're like, wait, what? Where did that come from? So let's get into the topic because I digress. I digress and I talk a lot. And so let's go to the top. The topic is today, stop men bashing. And it's not that men don't bash women because they do, but I have more women that watch me. So we're going to concentrate on the female viewers today. Okay. The reason why I woke up today and I was like, let me do a stop men bashing because I see it through my clients, through past friends, their posts. You see people shit. And our lovely feminine energy needs to soften some. You guys, most of the feminines are still in the raw, fuck everybody energy. I don't need anyone energy. You're all in your masculine energy, right? We're still running around that we don't need a man. And let me tell you, I was a woman like that at one point. I was the woman who was like, I don't need nobody. I don't need a man. Fuck that. I'm strong on my own. Not that I'm not strong on my own. You just come to realize some things on this path that, we are created, men and women. We're created. We're not fucking equal. Okay? I don't give a shit what people tell you. I don't give a shit what you fucking watch. We're not created equal. Men and women are not equal. They just aren't. Okay. I'm gonna be very real. I ain't trying to compete with men. I used to though, when I was younger. I worked in the warehouses and shit. I used to be like, I'm gonna make y'all men look like shit. But that's because I had an anger inside me, not because it was a healthy fucking competition, you know. I think sometimes we have to step back. Women want to be treated like they're on a pedestal and they're God's gift to men. And women rarely want to sit back and treat their man that way. So when we're bashing men, there's no good men out there. All men are shit, right? What do you think that you're fucking bringing in? Right. I don't want to change a fucking tire. Not that I would call a man to do it. That's why I have That's why I have insurance, right? That's why you have insurance. But I mean, if you have a man, you should be able to call him if you need some help, right? But we bash them like if they're not good for anything, and I hear it all the time. Just because we're scorned, I'm gonna be let's be real. Most women are talking shit because they are scorned. You're still the bitter ex. Because if you weren't the bitter ex, you'd understand that not everybody is that way, and you wouldn't be looking at every man as if they're a piece of shit. Most of my readings with women are that they have trust issues. And it's like they'll never get someone has to prove themselves to them before they trust this person. That's not how love works. Love don't fucking work like that, okay? Exactly. It's like, and I used to be, and I can say that now that I used to be a woman like that. That was like, men are only good for one thing, if that. That's how my mindset was in my 20s and in my 30s. I didn't give a fuck. Like I was very rude and very mean, but it's because of the shit that I went through. It's a lot of shit that I went through. So my perception was men ain't shit. But when you have that, when you're going through life with that, you'll never call in a man who is worthy, right? You won't call in that. You'll just be constantly going through the emotions of, well, there goes another one that ain't shit. Here goes another one that ain't shit. Aw, that's cute, Shondell. I like that. Not all men are bad. Now, I'm not saying that we haven't been through some shit, right? I've been through some shit myself. I understand the hurt and the pain. I understand how it changes us. But why do we go from a situation to allowing ourselves to believe that every man is the same? you know we want men to be these super fucking human people, but we don't look at ourselves because women like to sit back and be like, I'm the prize. We don't look at men as they're the prize. But what if we did? What if we took that step back and looked at men as they're the prize, instead of being on that pedestal thinking, I'm the prize, bow down to me? Well, how would that change? you know Why would that be a bad thing? And I'm not saying all the time. I'm not saying that your man shouldn't make you feel, wanted or needed, or all of the good stuff that comes with relationships. You're staying at your daughter, father's ex-wife's house. Yeah. I was lucky that I never had an abusive relationship, far as physically abusive. But verbally, me and my ex would go toe to toe of both of us. I can't say that it was just him or just me. We both were very horrible in that way. Hey, wanna. It's like I don't want to take away. I don't want to take away you growing to understand that you deserve better than what you've dealt with before. Okay. That's not what I'm saying today. What I'm saying is, generally, when we're working through this stuff and we're getting to a mature level, right? Getting to a mature level, we as women have to look at men the same that we want to be looked at. We want men to look at us a certain way. Why don't we do the same? I don't hear that from women. When women are talking about how they want to get married, it's all about them. It's not about the man. It's all about them, the dream that they've had from what they were a kid, the dress that they've been wanting to fucking wear. They're tired of being bridesmaids. It's never about the man. So when you are constantly talking about you just as self, the partnerships that you want are just self. You're not talking about you and your person together. You're just talking about yourself, right? I hear a lot of women get very mad and pissed off when a man is not ready to marry. And it's just like, what's the rush? You're rushing, and it's all pre programmed what society is saying that we're supposed to be doing by a certain age. It's never just connecting with someone, allowing it to organically grow, and get to those points of marriage or connection or wherever, and just allowing it to flow. Even myself, which is hindered a lot of my life, because I there was a point in time where I was very, if you weren't giving me what I want right now, bye. You know what I mean? Bye. Up until recently, I met someone that I just couldn't do that. I couldn't just say bye so easily, you know, in the past 3 years. But before that, I was just like, bye, see you later. You ain't giving me what I want. Bye. So instead of us being the goddesses that we need to be as women, we start being attention whores. And I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. We start being attention whores. You ain't giving me attention right now, this fucking second. Well, I'm beautiful enough. I'm gonna go get it somewhere else. Tell me how that works. Tell me how is that okay? But you'll get mad at a guy who is talking to multiple people. We can't sit and have the double standard of we do this, but you can't do this. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. I gotta call people out on this shit. It's bullshit. There's a different, see, people mistake the word submissive. They take it as prisoner. Submissive does not mean prisoner. Submissive does not mean you get to beat the shit out of me. Submissive with your man and your woman, when you're thinking about connections and partnerships, the man ideally does lead. All right. Now, I know women, you lead in your own way, but we are built different. And so this is where we have to go back to we are built different. Men and women are not built the same. We are not fucking equal. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Right. So if you look at our makeup, where men and women are built different. Okay. Um, Submissive just means that you are allowing your partner to lead. Not saying that you got to bow down and all hail king, whoever the fuck they are, and you don't get to express what you feel. You never get to talk about your feelings. You never get to say how you feel. And that's not what I'm talking about. And that's what people get submissive construed. That's not what it is. Submissive just means that you're going to allow your person to lead. And I would hope that you would pick someone that you would be okay to lead the family, right? That's what it's about. But a lot of people have taken that as all of a sudden you got chains on and all of a sudden you're a fucking slave to this man. And that's not it. I'm not talking about the old paradigm of what a wife and man should be. I'm just talking generally. If you look at men and women, we're built different, right? I think healthy relationships require conversation between two. Healthy relationships, not over, spazzing out. Because I've had to work on my own shit. I've had to work on my emotional immaturity, and I can say within the past couple years, I've had to work to fucking grow up, because I was still operating in this hurt child energy, where I would spaz out emotionally. Emotionally, I would shut down, or I would do certain things and be like, fuck, what is my problem? You know, like, what is my problem, not their problem? So when you start to like really look in, it's not always the other person. You start to see the shit that you've done in these situations. You start to break down your own behavior and see like, damn, I'm not as healthy as I thought I was, especially mentally or emotionally. So submissive is not that, oh, now I get to sit and this man gets to, beat the shit out of me or do whatever to me. That's not what it is. It's that you're submitting to the masculine energy as a feminine energy. And when you go into masculine and feminine energy, when it comes together as a whole. But when we're looking at it, yes, the masculine would be in the leader. That's the energy to lead, should be. Does every masculine do that? Probably not. Yeah, you know what? When people stress on marriage, good morning, Latanya. When people stress on marriage, I kind of just look at them. I don't give two shits about the marriage contract, like going to get the paperwork. Okay. I feel like your souls connect and bond in the marriage form spiritually anyway, as it has for thousands of fucking years before courthouses, were there. I think the contract was it was basically like a sold property. When people used to, trade their cows and sell off their daughters and shit, as soon as you got your period, you were gone. Those were contracts. They sold off. What did they used to get? A diary and shit. They got money for selling off their fucking daughters. You okay? They got money for selling off their daughters back then. Crazy different. So for me, marriage is two people coming together, not two people that you have to go to the courthouse and get a paperwork. A lot of women think getting the paper solidifies the connection. Where the fuck do you get that from? Who's brainwashed you to think that a marriage certificate makes it more? The man or the woman is not going to be more faithful to you because you're fucking married. It just makes it harder for the person to leave your ass because now you have money attached to each other. Yeah, that's what it is. So a lot of women will play that as rush to get married to make it harder for your ass to leave. But let's look at this realistically. Why would you want to do that? That's the only thing I don't understand. Why would you want to ever force somebody to be with you? You want someone to choose to be with you, which is so much fucking better. Okay? Right, right. I think marriage is a two-person thing. And I think sometimes us as women, we have to sit back and understand what is the man's hopes and wishes too. We are very selfish as beings. Women are very selfish. And I've had way too many readings with clients to understand that damn, it made me realize how fucking selfish we are as women. This path has opened my eyes like, damn, we are very selfish. We think about us. It's always us. We're very rarely thinking about the man. Hey D. I think we have to really look at submissive and look at, I'm not saying deal with someone who's shitty in your life. I'm not saying deal with someone who's, controlling your every move or, you know, um demeaning, makes you feel worthless. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when we're just looking at it where most women are bashing men constantly. Constantly. I don't need a man, but you secretly want one. You have to understand what you're doing in your energy in those moments. Okay. Because in your energy, you're saying this, but you want something else. You really want a man, but because you're hurt, you're going to sit and keep saying, I don't need a man, fuck a man, blah, blah, blah. So, men want to feel needed also. They want to feel appreciated also. They want to feel like you're getting them. Men actually take longer. Most men are actually taking their time. They're not rushing to the aisle. And women get mad at that. It's like, if you're not ready to marry today, I'm going to go talk to somebody else. What the fuck? What? Wait, what happened? I was there. Be like, no, I'm getting too old. Why? Because the society says you're getting too old. You have to be married by this age. So all of that stays in the programming of your mind. And so you keep thinking like, oh, I gotta do this. And if I'm not married, other people will make you feel like shit too. How many of you guys know someone who was married that who say comments or try to make you feel like shit because you're single? It'd be like, damn, bitch, you want an award because you're fucking married? It'd be like, okay, all right, maybe it's just not my turn. Why do I have to be less than because I don't have a fucking husband in my, late 30s and shit? People will try to make you feel bad as if something's wrong with you. So that's where we have to start releasing all of the shit that people tell us, all of the shit that people do, all of the fucked up programming that people have said that we have to do this by this day, right? Like I said, I've never been a person who cares about marriage in that way. I feel like because you are spiritually connected to this person regardless. The paperwork is just whatever. Unless the person or you are really big on adding the name, the last name, or really coming together as far as assets. Because let me tell you, marriage certificate is a business. It's sort of a business contract here. Okay, we're coming together with assets. We're bringing our assets together. That's huge. And a lot of people do it for those reasons. They're not doing it for love, they're doing it for financial gain. Let's be real. Okay, let's be very fucking real. Right, right. A lot of a lot of clients I've had to go through readings with them and tell them it's not that this, their person doesn't love them just because they're not ready for marriage. A lot of men are very strategic, like they want their money to be set up a certain way, they want their finances to be set up a certain way, so they want their career to be set up a certain way before they get there, right? We don't understand that. We just think like, no, we should just be married, fuck all that shit. But again, are you listening to what the man wants, or are you just feeling what you want? Again, it's two people in the dynamic. It's not just the feminine energy, but the feminine energy will sit and just harp and harp and harp because they're not getting their way in this moment, instead of listening to what the masculine is telling them. Masculine is like, I'm not ready. We should respect that. Why would we not respect that? I think we don't respect our masculines enough. And that's the problem with the society today. A lot of feminine energy has taken, there was a group of feminists, right, that were coming out of an era of where they did get their ass beat, right? That was normal, right? And then they did this wave, and people took that and ran with it. So now every woman has this mindset where we're against the man in so many ways. I will never be, that. And you don't have to. Not every man is going to abuse you. Not every man is going to be a piece of shit. And you want things your way. But with that being said, are we taking the time to understand where the man is coming from? Are we taking the time to understand what his wants and needs are too? Or is it all just what we want? Is it all just my life, my dreams, what I need right now? Or are we stopping to say, damn, what does he need? What is he doing? What are his plans? We don't do that. We're so much into what we want right now. And I see that a lot in women. A lot. We're not willing to wait for a man, but you want a man to wait for you. Why? What's the double standard about? That's what I'm trying to understand. What's the double standard? Why have we been changed so much as feminine energy in the last couple generations, from a generation of women that stuck it out with their man, they listened to their man, and whatever happened, because not every relationship was fucking horrible, right? It went from that generation to fuck that. I'm better off alone. I do think a lot of people don't stop, and this is the live that I'm on the man's team today. Okay, I got to represent for the men today, and you guys know I'm actually an advocate for them, because I don't think they are rooted for enough, and I'll never be a woman who's bashing men on my channel. Never have, never will. Because I do see it, and I see how we as women, we tend to abuse our power in so many ways. I've seen it time and time again. And I do feel it takes two. It's not just what we want, it is also what they want, their needs, what they're going through also. So with that being said, if you have someone, and you can't look at this person and say that it's willing for you to wait. And the biggest thing that I hear when someone's like, I want to be married, we've been together 5 years, oh, why are we not married yet? And it's like, one of my questions is this person worth the wait? Because if you tell me you've been with someone 5 years and they're not worth to wait another 5 years for marriage, what the fuck are you doing? So I feel like we have to get out of the entitlement as a woman. Yes, we're very, there's not a woman on this planet that can't be married. I say this shit all the time. There's not a woman on this planet that can't be fucking married. You can walk out there and be married real fucking quickly. Maybe not to the person you want to be married to, but you can fucking get a husband really quickly. But the person that you're connected to and want, if they're not ready, why would you push them and force them? Why would you pressure them into something that they're not ready, just so she could blow up in your face? For what? A lot of people are like, oh, but we have kids. Okay, you have kids. And does that make it to where you need to run off and get married? No, it doesn't. You got kids. Appreciate the fucking life you have. Yeah. See, Evelyn, and that's part of the mindset. I hope you've grown from that. But just to say, like, well, I'm pregnant with your kid, or I have your kid, so why don't you want to marry me? That's all that pre-programming bullshit, though. To say that to someone you love, that's a jab. It's a jab. And you probably don't understand how he felt when you said that. Like, damn, you know. Me personally, I did get afraid of marriage too. That's why I was like, fuck marriage, because I saw my parents and then I saw other people that they got married at the courthouse. Nobody had a fucking wedding. It was like, damn, are any of y'all motherfuckers gonna have a wedding? and but then it was all like shitty relationships, shitty fucking marriages. And I was like, if that's marriage, I don't want it. I'm good. But again, that's another pre-program that I took on. That wasn't the way it is. That wasn't how it's supposed to be. That's just what was around me, you know. And then the rest of the people didn't get married, like myself, or just like, nah, yeah. When you give your man this ultimatum, you have to check yourself and understand, where is it coming from? If you're like, oh, you're not giving me what I want, if you don't, I leave. But did you stop and ask this person what they need in this moment? And this is my biggest point today. When you're dealing with your masculines and you're going through this, and this is something that I had to understand myself, because we are very selfish in our needs. We want what we want. We don't want to sit back and ask what they want, what they need, what they desire. Sometimes they have their goals in place already. Then you meet them and it's like, "Ooh, I like you, but I still got these goals that I'm trying to attain." Very hard to fit you in this shit. So instead of being fucking hurt and mad, like, oh, well, I'll go get it elsewhere, why not be patient? And I'm not talking about someone who's playing you. I'm not talking about someone who's playing games. I'm not talking about someone who's cheating and got 4 or 5 baby mamas and shit. I'm talking about like your let's say your regular kind of dynamic, where someone's just not ready to go that far. Right. And most people don't plan to be single moms, like I didn't plan to be a single mom, but it happened, you know. Um, and even though, like with my daughter's father, I attempted to try, it just wasn't going to go anywhere. So it was just like, why keep trying? It wasn't going to go anywhere. We weren't going to make it. We were just two different people. It was literally like we were just two strangers trying to come together. And so that's, at that point, I didn't know about karmic people and shit like that at the moment. But at the end of it, I just realized that it was just like, okay, we had a child. Thank you for my child. You blessed me with a child. Thank you. There was times where I used to think back, like, damn, why did I have my child with him? Whoever knows, whatever the purpose was, it was. But I'm very grateful. I wouldn't go back and change it. Even though knowing I would be a single mom, I wouldn't go back and change it. I wouldn't take my daughter away, you know. And sometimes people do that, stay too long in a marriage, and the reasons why are huge, right? Because when I've seen people stay in a marriage, it's because they're saving face. They don't want the embarrassment. They don't want people to ask the whys. You're unhappy for a very long time, but you've refused to give it up, whether it's money, whether it's prestige, or your social shit, family, and people will stay in these very hurtful connections just because. Um, yeah. I think it's okay to take your time, just like I think it's okay for men to take their time. And I think as a woman, we have to be okay with a man who wants to take his time. I think we just overly obsess of what we want only, and we don't really care. I've seen it. Most people don't care what the other person wants. So as a feminine, if you're single and you're looking, be prepared. Like, dating is dating. Dating isn't like, I'm dating, I like you, let's go get married. Like, no one fucking dates like that. If I feel like if a man wants to rush and date you, you might want to think about that. Like, red flag here. Red flag here. You're moving too fast, buddy. Okay. Like, again, I'm not saying every man is perfect, but I'm talking about the ones where once you get to a certain point after your failed relationships, right? We get to your failed relationships and then you're dating. And then you're like, well, I do want long term. I don't want to be by myself. And there's nothing wrong with wanting a partner. You guys, society has made us women feel like we gotta do everything on our own. We gotta be single, super fucking woman and shit. And then you actually feel bad for wanting to have a connection, wanting to have a relationship. They call you needy if you want one, right? There's nothing wrong to wanting a healthy relationship. There's nothing wrong with wanting a companionship. Um, but I do feel like women have a list of bullshit that they need to get rid of. Women have a fucking list. How many of you guys got? We've talked about this list before. Got a fucking list of bullshit. The man has to be like a certain height. He has to make a certain amount of fucking money. I mean, the list is just going to go on and on with a bunch of superficial bullshit anyway, right? That list should say honest, loyal, trustworthy,
That's it.
loving.
That's it.
Like, I think in the beginning, we should be creating friendships. Do I like you? Not just, oh, I'm attracted and sexually and all this shit, right? Do I like you? Because if I can't like you, like if I don't like who you are personally, how the fuck you gonna get married to this person? It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I would question that, Michelle, because any guy who's still living with his ex-girlfriend is probably not an ex-girlfriend. I just have to be honest. A man that's done is a man that will move out. Okay. Um, and if he doesn't have the means to move out, that might be another red flag for you to let it go for now. I just have to be honest. A man that's living with an ex-girlfriend is probably not an ex-girlfriend. I personally would not talk to anyone who still lives with an ex. And I can just tell you from my experience, there's always this chance, there's always this little hope between them. And normally when the female sees that they're moving on is when she wants to like get him back. And I've been in situations with that. And then I'll have somebody calling my phone and I'm like, and this is like years ago, but and I just remember having like conversation with this one particular chick about it. And I was like, I'm not a home wrecker and I'm never going to like be a home wrecker. You know, and I have been. Let me tell you, my younger years, I've done some not so nice shit when I didn't care. I was very angry. I didn't care about other people's relationships in my younger years. But at the point when I was talking to her, I was like, I don't do shit like that. You know, I just didn't. I had changed. I was a different person. Um, so me personally, I would not speak to anyone or talk to anyone like that that's still dealing with their ex in that manner. You're still living with your ex. That's too much. You live in the same house. It's too easy. It's too easy. People are, you got to think about yourself. When I lived with my daughter's father, even though we couldn't stand each other, even though we knew we needed to split, we were still having sex and stuff. It's too fucking easy. You're too familiar with this person. So, me personally, if a man is still living with their ex, it's not done. It's not done and it's not over, and you shouldn't be dating until you get that shit done. The biggest thing we have to set some healthy boundaries from the beginning. Okay? We have to set some healthy boundaries in the beginning. What are you willing to deal with? What are you willing to attract? What are you willing to go through? You got to say, it says a lot about who you are of what you're willing to do, right? So if you're willing to do some not so nice shit, and not saying you like Michelle that you're doing it, it's just you gotta look at it for what it is. Okay, you live with your ex. Why have you not moved out? You got to ask yourself these questions. It's cheaper to live with her. Okay, then that's another whole fucking story. Because when a man is done, or when you're done with the man is not living with you. It's just not happening. Okay. Yeah. Religion too. See that. Yeah. I don't believe that, Solemn. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. I've seen people that have dated for years and then the man is married them. There are some men that have fear of marriage. You got to remember on a man's standpoint, and look, this is why I say women are fucking entitled as fuck. You got to remember on a man's standpoint, when a man is marrying, he will lose in the court way faster than the woman will. As a man these days, men are getting hip to this shit. Men ain't stupid no more. Men are just like, I need to make sure that you're real, like that real. And let me tell you, most women don't fucking see that. Most women don't understand that because you don't have to understand it. You don't have to understand that a man will lose everything in a marriage. His home, his kids, his fucking money that he made. He could have came to the relationship with the money and fucking leaves with no money and still has to pay for that motherfucking house, you know? So I've seen some crazy shit. So again, when you're looking at it from a masculine's point of view, they have a lot to fucking lose when it comes to marriage. Marriage is a fucking contract. What does it matter if he's going to marry you or not, as far as the contract goes? You should be looking at, does this person love me? Does this person treat me good? Does this person value me? Does this person take care of me? The fuck does it matter about some damn paperwork? I don't understand that part. I still don't understand that part. I have clients all the time and I have to refrain from my opinion, one, because it's not my opinion. But I have to ask, like, what does this marriage, this, all you're looking for is the paper, the certificate, because you're technically already married in spirit. You're already living together. You're with each other in spirit. You have already created this dynamic. What does it matter about a paper? Most women just want to say they won. I won. I won him. It's your fucking ego. Has nothing to do with your person. That's your ego. I won. I'm his wife. Mm, you got to check that shit at the door. Yeah, see, Latanya, that's it. It's a lot of outside shit that pushes us to do these things, right? We have all this outside influence, even your friends. You guys even know you have friends that are like, oh, if he ain't married to you, if he ain't doing this, oh, he didn't buy you this. And let me tell you, the greatest love is someone that didn't do shit to earn it, because love doesn't require you to earn it. We've made this society where people have to earn your love. People have to earn shit from you. That's not how love is. Creator energy is there. It's love. It's loving. It's unconditional. The greatest fucking love and connections are ones that you didn't have to do shit for. You just were. You just are. And I've had to experience this for myself to fucking understand it. Because I was in an old paradigm of a man needs to do this for me to make me see that he cares. A man needs to go to this extent to make me feel like I'm worthy or I'm worth it. And if he ain't doing that, then fuck that. That's not the right mindset. That's your ego. Your ego is constantly, I need to be, you need to prove to me. That's all your ego. Ego-based living. That's not a higher consciousness. It just isn't. Your higher consciousness will always tell you love is love. There's no scoreboard. You do it because you love a person. You're not over here like, okay, I made you dinner 10 times. It's your turn for dinner. If you don't do it now, you don't love me because I've already done it 10 times. It's not how it fucking works. You do shit because you love someone. Period. That's it. Nothing else needed. Not because you expect some shit back. Not because you expect this person to do shit. Oh, I'm not washing your clothes and taking care of the kids and all this for no marriage. You're still sitting there with wanting something in the end. I've been with this person 5 years, I've invested, where's my marriage? Again, you're looking at this as a business fucking transaction. It's not a business transaction. It's a fucking relationship. And until people start to realize this and understand this, you will always be in this fucking depressive ass state of, I don't have what I want, or I didn't get a return on my investment. And if you look at people as investments, then what does that say about you at the end of the day? This is where awareness comes into it. Women, you guys, good morning, Latoya. You have got to understand a man loses way more in a marriage than a woman does. So if a man is taking his time to marry you, doesn't mean that he loves you any less. Now, I won't say there aren't men that play games. There are. You got to understand who you're dealing with. You got to understand the lingo. Look at their love language. Is this person generally taking care of you? And most people think like, oh, well, I've dealt with this person 5 years. If it doesn't work out, somehow I failed. No, not every relation. I don't give a fuck if you're married. You're not guaranteed to be with this person for the rest of your life. So let's stop men bashing in that sense, because you're not guaranteed to be with this person for the rest of your life, even with a marriage certificate, even with the, no, you're not guaranteed to be together forever. People grow, people change. But we want to force somebody to be with us. What does that say about us? I mean, not me, because I don't do that shit. But what does that say about you if you're trying to force someone to be with you in that way? You're trying to force someone to be with you for the rest of your life. But what if you guys grow apart? Oh, I made this man. You know what I mean? I've heard it. I made this man, and now I'm going to fuck shit up because he left. Why? Instead of appreciate the time that you had with this person and let it go. Maybe this is not your person. But our ego fucks it all up. Our ego can't take it. Our ego gets bruised. How could this person leave me? How could this person not want me? Don't they see that I'm the shit? That's all your fucking ego. None of that is your higher self. None of that is out of love. None of that is from your creator energy. None of it. All of that is from your darker nature, your shadow, your friends in your ear, pumping you up. Mm. It is just a paper, Shondell. It's a paper, it's a contract. And if you look at the nature of where marriage certificates came from, it's a business contract where people were sold. You had an exchange of money. It's very shitty, but that's what it is. Most women know this. You guys ain't that dumb. You guys know this. You guys know a lot of people who got married and the man got fucked over. So if men are going slow now, if men are taking their time, be appreciative, because there's a lot that they lose at the end of the day. Like I said, they lose their kids, their house, and everything, home, family, money. It's not just like a split. Most women are shitty as fuck when they get divorced. Most women are determined to take everything when they get divorced. I've seen it. We've seen it too many times. So if you just got to look at, yes, what you want, but also look at what they want, right? Is your person that you want, are they worth the wait? If they're not worth the wait, you're dating the wrong person. Real shit. If you look at your person today and you're like, all right, can I wait? Is this person worth me waiting 5, 10 years for this person? If you really don't feel they're worth the wait, you're with the wrong person. Because when you're with the right person, you won't be questioning the time frame. You won't be questioning, when am I going to get married? You won't be questioning it. You'll just be. You'll be living. You won't have all that extra shit. This is where the deprogramming comes in. And the second a man doesn't want to get married, where he's labeled as shitty, a player, men can't have choices. Men can't have options. Men can't weigh their options, but women could have 5, 10 dudes in their fucking phone at one time. This is where we got to stop playing this bullshit ass double standard shit. You want a man to be all into you and him to be your option, but the second a man treats your ass like an option, you fucking pissed off and mad. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Right. Build a friendship. I tell people all the time, build a friendship first. See if you guys even like each other because chemistry fades. For most people, chemistry will fade unless you find someone that the chemistry never dies, and that's very rare. Okay? Most people that first initial chemistry fireworks fades. What do you have left after that? Do you still like each other? Do you still have can you have a conversation with this person? Are your wants and needs the same? You know, I think if you really love someone, you will understand that they're worth the wait just as you're worth the wait, right? And I feel like once you get to that point as a feminine, you'll understand and you won't listen to what outsiders say. When I say outsiders, everyone has their opinion on what you should be doing. He doesn't love you if you're not doing this. He doesn't love you if he ain't buying you this. That's all superficial bullshit. So when you get away from the superficial bullshit and you're just looking at how do I feel with this person? How does this person make me feel? Is this person here? Can I connect with this person in that way? Are we conversating in that way? Do we get along? How does this person treat other people? You got to look at all of those things before you just want to jump. Most people just want to jump to the fucking aisle and be, oh, I'm married. For what? Just so you can be divorced? Take your time. There's no rush. And we can't bash all men because we've had a shitty past in men. That is a reflection on ourselves. No matter if you want to fucking agree with me or not, no matter if you want to own up to it or not, your shitty past of men is a reflection of you, what you have tolerated and what you have allowed in your life. It is what it is. All men ain't shit. You have been operating on a lower vibration and you have allowed lower vibrational shit. And now you have to understand to raise your fucking vibration, put some boundaries and standards, okay? So that you can keep moving and find that better connection, that level up connection. You can't find it if you still allowing bullshit. And that's nobody else but you. Yeah, I mean, to me, marriage has not always been on paper, but when it started, it's a contract. It's a contract. And again, I understand why men take their time. They can lose a lot. So I understand why men take their time. And I don't think we should be pressuring a man to fucking marry us. Because the more you pressure a man to marry you, the more he's going to back off. He just is. And the ones that are pressured and they just do it end up regretting that shit. Not I won't say all of them, but a lot of them, right? Right. True. I'm going to put this up here because I believe it. I believe when you ever see your friendships where a really good friendship, you guys could not talk for years and then come back together like no time has ever fucking passed. That's the kind of connection you want, where you're friends first, where you care about each other. When you care about each other, it's not just physical, it's not just sexual. When you actually care about the person, you're going to think twice before you hurt this person. You're going to think twice before you do shit that would make this person feel a certain way. Most people don't create friendships. Most people are just dating. It's very sexual, or someone's giving a lot of gifts of what they're getting. Oh, he buys me this, he buys me that, he takes me there, he takes me here. It's not a substitute for friendship and love. So when you're looking at this, I just want you guys. I'm telling you, I've done a lot of work on myself, and I've realized a lot of my shitty ways. Okay, I had to grow the fuck up, and I had to realize the common denominator in everything is you. You are the common denominator. So if you're not in a loving marriage right now, look at what your past or what you have allowed. You can sit here and keep blaming everybody else of this person, this person. No, it comes down to you. Not every man is a piece of shit. Not every partner is a piece of shit. So I can't jump on the train of men bashing. I used to be a woman who did that. All men weren't shit. All men were players. And that's what I truly felt. So guess what? That's what I called in. Called in players, called in bullshit, called in men that were closed because I was closed. So When you get to the point of taking the responsibility and looking at your own actions, and then you start to understand, you start to see, you can process it different, and then you can take that step back. You want a level up, you want to get that real open connection, you got to do the work. If the men that are loving are on a higher vibration, the men that are open, sincere, they're on a higher vibration. You got to work to get up to that vibration. A lot of women don't think that. A lot of women just, I'm on my pedestal and I'm God's gift to men. Okay, stay in that energy and be single for fucking ever. I used to walk around like I'm the prize. Don't they see I'm the fucking prize? But that's all ego. And not saying I'm not a good woman, because I am. Not saying that I don't have, good attributes about myself, but damn, I look back and I was like very egotistical about who I am. And that's just not the way to operate. It's not the way to operate. It's not the way to move forward. So you got to kind of take that step back and just be very honest with yourself. Don't, all men ain't shit. Get that out of your head. Throw that away. I know that we've had some bad experiences. I know some of you guys have had some horrible experiences with abuse and other things like that. Every man is not abusive. And I'm not saying you deserved any of that from the relationship, but I do know you allowed yourself to deal with a lot of shit. Change your boundaries, change how you move, work on your self worth, work on your self love. Remember, you got to show up for you first, then you attract the people like that. If you want love, you got to be love. And I strongly believe in matching energy. If you want to be in a certain kind of relationship, you have to be that. You can't be shitty and selfish and think you're going to attract someone who's loving and caring. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. So, no, this is not, I know there's two sides of every coin. I know some women can be just as shitty as men. But this was, this morning show was really just to give some men some kudos. I don't think we do it enough. I don't think men get kudos enough. And I don't think us as women wait for them and are patient with them as much as we should be. And I'm not talking about being patient with the shitty ones. I'm talking about being patient and working to get with the good ones. And I think sometimes we overlook the good ones and then we go for the shitty ones, because most of the time the shitty ones are on your ass real quick, huh? Those are the ones rushing you to the aisle. No, I'm just playing. Not all of them.